All right, hello. My name is Matt Sullivan, and you are tuned in to Credit Dusters Unleashed. Today, we're going to be talking about how to get rid of erroneous accounts and how to get those deleted from your credit report. All right, so let's get started. Let's start out with a brief history of the Fair Credit Reporting Act. This is the wild beast that allows us to do the investigations, to do the disputes, also details who can view your report. The Fair Credit Reporting Act is a United States federal law that regulates the collection, dissemination, and use of consumer information, including consumer credit information. This law was enacted in 1970. I know, a long time ago, right? 45 years ago. It gave massive power to consumers. This law, the FCRA, is a champion for consumers. It really forced the credit bureaus to maintain accurate information, but of course they don't. So, it also gave individuals, you as a consumer, a framework for the dispute process. And that is what we're going to be focused on today. So, the state of present today. Let's talk about the disputing process and what it takes to get an account deleted. FCRA is a 100-page wild man. I mean, there is so much information in this document and in this law that provides a lot of power to an individual. We're going to be focused in on Section 611 of the FCRA, and this is what gives us the power to dispute the accuracy of an entire account. Yes, we can focus on individual pieces of that account. Let's say, for instance, you want just the late payments to be deleted. You can narrow down like a suture and focus just on that individual piece of that account, the date of last activity, the open date, the amount of the trade line is not correct. There's all kinds of things that you can focus on. Our objective is the entirety of the account because we believe that those accounts are not ours. These are for accounts that you believe are not yours, that you don't feel like they're yours and then they need to be deleted, or it's time for them to be deleted. It's not up to me. I don't have the moral compass. You don't have the moral compass to figure out whether or not these are your accounts or my accounts or whose accounts they are. This is where we're able to have items we believe are wrong completely deleted from our account. So what is a dispute? Let's define a dispute. Dispute simply means that you disagree with the account and or information within the account. We just talked about that. For example, late payments, amount due, open dates. So let's tackle some of the myths of the disputing process. It's not wise to send in supporting documentation when attempting to get an account deleted. Okay? Also, paying off a collection or any other bill does not delete it from the account. So there you go. There's some of the myths that you may be thinking, well, that sounds obvious, but to a lot of people, that might be an aha moment. I take lots of phone calls in my credit repair practice of individuals that say, well, I paid off this collection, so that should be gone and I shouldn't have to worry about it. Or I send in supporting documentation to try to get it removed. And that's counterintuitive to what we're trying to do. We're telling the credit bureaus that that's not your account, or you're telling the credit bureaus, I'm not telling them anything. You're telling them basically that it's not your account, and then you're sending in supporting documentation showing that it's your account. And that's not something that you want to do if you believe that it should not be on your report. Okay, the true power behind the dispute process. The burden of proof is a concept that we sort of understand in a legal framework. Like the burden of proof is on a court to prove that someone is guilty. It is presumed innocent, right? Very similar, the burden of proof is on the credit bureaus and on the accounts themselves, the collection companies, the lender, whoever has that account. The burden of proof is really on them to prove that it should be on your report. Okay? We're going to take a holistic approach and work on all the accounts that you believe are not correct. We're not going to onesie-twosie these because that doesn't make sense. The credit bureaus have the ability to handle us sending in one letter per bureau, TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax, and listing out all the accounts and everything that we believe is wrong. Let's say, for instance, we have an address that's wrong, a bankruptcy that should have been deleted already, a few collections that we're not sure what they are, and we're going to put the burden of proof back onto the credit bureaus to try to sort that out. It's not up to us to try to sort that out. It's up to them. And so we're going to put all of that on in one letter, one piece of paper. So we're going to categorize those based on the credit bureau that is reporting it. So there may be, it may be listed with one bureau and not the other two. It may be listed on two and not all three. You need to be really careful about that when you're writing your letters, your dispute or investigation letters, that you're not putting in information that's not even being reported because they may add it. We've seen that happen. So it's just about organization. It's about being detailed and knowing a little bit of information. Accounts need to be listed with the name of the company that's listed on the credit bureau, the account number, and the amount. And all of this is going to be from your credit report. So let's talk about the dispute letter. The contents need to include the full name, the address, driver's license, and the driver's license needs to match the address provided. If it does not match the address provided, you'll need to bring in some additional documentation. You're going to need to bring in a cell phone or some kind of reoccurring bill that has that address, your name and your address listed on there. It's not to say that if you don't have those items that they're not going to follow through with your investigation, but you may not receive the information that you need in order to follow through. In other words, you need to make sure that those address, as best as you can, make sure that those addresses are connected. You're also going to need your social security number and date of birth. Well, let's talk about the body of the dispute. We're going to need a paragraph stating that you've been turned down for important credit due to the erroneous accounts on your report, and that you are aware of the law under the Fair Credit Reporting Act and your rights involving that. The letter will then list out all the accounts you believe are not yours, including the name of the company, the account number as shown on the credit report, and the amount, just like we talked about. Here's the mailing address. You've got Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. You're going to mail out one letter to each one of these bureaus, listing out those accounts that correspond to those bureaus on your credit report. Now, it's the waiting process. Yay! The credit bureaus have 30 days to complete the review of the dispute. After 30 days from the point you sent the letters, repull your report and compare it with the previous report. Now, obviously, this means that you have had to have kept a copy of your previous report and that you have the ability to have it repulled from a similar place. In other words, if you went and got a loan or were attempting to get a loan, you may need to have that mortgage lender or bank or car dealer repull your report. And really, you need all three bureaus and all three credit scores. We're assuming that you're going to have access to those things. So there you go. Now I just wanted to mention really quickly the Self-Starter program. I'm super excited about this. This is a 60-day guided credit repair program. All of the things that I just told you, they work. They're awesome. But we're going to give you all the step-by-step tutorials to achieve your credit score goals quickly. All the tools and resources we've used for 8+ years in our credit repair practice and with our clients, we're giving to you. Not just giving them to you, we're showing you how we use them. Also, we're going to be providing automated software that sends email alerts when it's time to complete the next task, so you're not worried about when that is going to happen. Go to creditdusters.com/self-starter and check it out. You can just log onto the site, creditdusters.com. I'm sure I'll have something somewhere around there showing the self-starter program because it's awesome. It's going to be amazing. So enjoy it. Hope you had a great time. Please let me know. You can email me, Matt@creditdusters, that's DUSTERS.com, Matt@creditdusters.com. Let me know where you found me, and would love the opportunity to talk with you. Take care.